Okay, are you ready to relocate? Are you looking to uproot your entire life, possibly your whole lifestyle, your job, your family, everything, and get from one state to the other, maybe even across the entire country, and start a whole new lifestyle in a whole new location? Well, I've got 5 expert tips that's going to help you get there a little bit stress-free, get your thoughts in order. And no, this video isn't going to be tips like color code your boxes, set up your beds first. That's not the video this is. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into that. So stay tuned and let's get you across the country. The thought of getting across the whole country and uprooting your life to move to a whole nother state is completely overwhelming. We get that. We've been there, done that. We have done it too. So it can take over your thought process. It can be like, where do I even start? I don't know how I could ever do this successfully without, it wrecking my family. Where do I even start? Well, that's number 1. Getting your thoughts and your tasks in order. Basically, you need to create a checklist of everything that you think you need to do. And then you need to put it all in order. Put it all in front of you, go through it one at a time, rearrange it as needed, because it will need to be rearranged just a little bit. But print it and use it as a guide. You need a guide. And now all these tasks and all these to-dos, it's not going to be as simple as you think. It's not just get the house ready to list. It goes a lot deeper than that. And this is going to help you stay on track. You're going to want to include every detail, including like purchasing packing supplies, getting your items and your belongings ready to donate or take to the consignment store, check in emotionally with the kids, schedule family meetings, schedule a moving truck, cancel subscriptions. The list goes on. And believe me, as you keep going, it gets more detailed and more detailed. But get your thoughts on paper and start creating a checklist for yourself. This will help you with some of your sanity, because there's no way you can possibly remember all this in your own head. Number 2, research the area and plan a visit. Planning a visit is super important. I know we're definitely researching at this point. That's probably why you're watching this channel. But definitely watching a lot of YouTube videos helps. Looking up Pinterest blogs and reading through those. Travel vlogs definitely helps. Travel blogs, vlogs and blogs, different things, video and text, but vlogs and blogs can definitely help. Calculating the differences in the cost of living, because we need to see if this new area you have in mind is going to fit your lifestyle and your budget. We recommend planning at least a 3-day visit. Now, if you can do more, definitely do more, because it can take some time to really get a good feel for the area, especially if you know that you can't visit often or several times. I mean, if you're moving from California to Kentucky or, across the country, long distance visits can't happen that often. So make the most of your time depending on how far you are away, because you may only get to come once. But 3 days can be enough. I mean, if you really give it 100% each day. So you're going to want to tour, all the touristy things, definitely get a good feel for what the area has to offer, even though the touristy things aren't what you're going to be doing in your regular everyday life. Definitely at least visit a few. It can still give you a good idea of what the area is about. But of course, you're going to want to drive by some schools, especially if you're enrolling your kids. You're going to want to see the school with your physical eyes. Drive by some neighborhoods. And if you don't know what neighborhoods you think you want to see yet, because coming to a new state, you're like, where do I even start? It's okay at that point to reach out to a real estate agent, ask some questions. Maybe you're not ready to view homes yet. You're just touring the area on your own, but they can help you point you in general direction of what you say you're looking for and give you an idea of what neighborhoods might be good to look in first. And even though you're not really stepping foot in homes yet, just driving through the community can help you rule out what you think you don't like and what you do. Believe me, seeing things with your own eyes can help you rule out a lot very quickly. Well, this goes along with trying all the touristy things, but eat out at the local restaurants, try the food, do the things that you think that you will do if you lived here, because that'll help you determine if this place suits your lifestyle. But if you're coming to Kentucky, we definitely recommend narrowing down the areas you think you want to be in by maybe seeing the bigger areas first and working your way out. Because if you want a general feel for what Kentucky is as a whole, It's actually very easy to do here. Kentucky's really not that big of a state, and it's not that different no matter where you go. Kentucky's only about 39,000 square feet. It's not that big of a state, and it's really not that populated. You might think it is, but it's not. Matter of fact, Tennessee is about double the population of what Kentucky is, and they're about the same size. But when you're touring, you really don't know where you want to be. Okay, say for instance, you have an idea of central Kentucky, and you think you're unsure, like between, all the way up by Louisville, all the way down I-65 to Bowling Green. You think you like the whole area, but you're not real sure. Pick one of the bigger towns to start in first and work your way out to the rural areas. So if that's the area you're coming to, if you're traveling from Louisville down south to Bowling Green, that drive really only takes you about 2.5 hours from north to south. Now, if you're going east to west, driving across Kentucky can take about 6 hours. So maybe that'll help you gauge like how much time you have to work with. So if you plan on looking up the whole central I-65 area, we recommend either booking a flight into the Louisville airport or Nashville. Now, Nashville, of course, has more direct flights to choose from, but depending on where you want to start your tour, if you want to look in South Central Kentucky near Bowling Green, I would book a flight to Nashville and start there and drive up. But if you're looking in a place like Elizabethtown or Northern Kentucky, maybe even Louisville, of course, I would book a flight to Louisville. And then if you decide to look further, then drive down south further. A good way to gauge that maybe would be if you're looking north of Mammoth Cave, I'd fly into Louisville. But if you're looking south of Mammoth Cave, I'd fly into Nashville. But the cost of the tickets matters too, so do whatever works for your budget. So still talking about visiting your area. When we're talking about Central Kentucky specifically, a lot of people don't know yet. Do we want to live in Louisville, Lexington, Bowling Green, maybe somewhere in between, maybe the rural areas in between? We're not really sure. But if this helps at all, just know that Louisville is the biggest city, then Lexington, then Bowling Green, and it just gets smaller from there. So working your way out from the city to the rural areas is a good way to kind of gauge what the area feels like, because once you get out of those big cities, it's pretty much just farmland and small town America. So that might help you determine, well, what bigger area of town do I want to be closer to? Because that's most likely where you're going to be going for entertainment or shopping or doctor appointments or other things you're doing in your life. Now, when you do start to get out to those rural areas, you can start to ask yourself, like, okay, I see an area I like. How do I gauge what this is close to? Well, a good way to do that, in my personal opinion, is obviously Google it to the nearest grocery store. But Google the distance to the nearest Target. I know that's going to sound silly, but there's a lot of like Walmarts and local grocery stores all over the place in Kentucky. But there are very few Targets, and Target can kind of give you an idea of where the next biggest town is. Targets are only found in the bigger areas here. So there's one in Bowling Green, there's one in Elizabethtown, there's several in Louisville, Lexington, and maybe one or a couple more in Owensboro. That's just the central Kentucky area. But that's it, up I-65. So maybe you're looking at Franklin, Kentucky, which is south of Bowling Green, about 30 minutes. Just know that you're a good 30 minutes to a bigger area where there's things like Target. Okay, number 3, after you've visited, you're gonna go back home and you're gonna get back to that list you made, number 1, and you're gonna start ordering your steps. You're gonna do things like contact realtors to list your house, stocking up on those packing supplies, decluttering, getting ready to start packing and listing. You're gonna be planning your actual move at that point, booking moving companies, moving trucks, possible Airbnb stays, plane tickets, travel plans, all the things. So step number 1 was important because step number 3 is you're gonna go back to that checklist you made and start checking them off. Number 4, expert tip to help you move out of state successfully and with minimal stress as possible. Let's try to anyway, is expect the unexpected. Really, this is very important because you gotta already like mentally know that things are just not gonna go as planned. That's just life. Things are bound to get out of order and things are bound to happen that weren't expected. Did you do things like prepare an emergency fund for when this happens? Kids are gonna get sick. Things are gonna break. Reservations are gonna get canceled. Sometimes closings don't happen on time. So we're going to want to have to prepare ourselves mentally for the unexpected and plan a little bit of a fund for that. Number 5, know your support system. Because guys, moving requires a ton of emotional strength. Really, emotions are involved here, especially when you're uprooting your entire family. Kids are going to have emotions, you're going to have emotions. Knowing your support system is going to be important. One thing that was important to me and Jarrett when we made a move like this was constantly having conversations with each other and making sure that we're on the same page mentally and emotionally. But so having these conversations with your life partner is going to be vital to the success of the move and, you know, your happiness when you get there. Got to be on the same page. And so checking in emotionally is really important during this time. Ask yourself what kind of social outlets you're a part of that will help you support this move and get you through. Well, let's just be real. Basically, it comes down to don't let the negative Nellies in. This time's going to be, you're going to want the positive reassurance and knowing those people in your life and those groups in your life and things you let into your day-to-day, psyche. They're really important. I'm not a psychologist here, but I just know that knowing who your support system is will help you ensure that you're going to actually get from A to B successfully. We don't want the people in your life right now second guessing your life decisions. So they have a place and their place is not for you during this time. So know your support team and stick with them throughout the whole move. Your inner circle that helps make your dreams reality, who are those people? And keep them in your circle during this time. That's with anything we do in life, honestly. When we talk about our dreams and our goals and our visions and things that we're looking to accomplish, I mean, there is some truth to, not letting the negative and what creates self-doubt into your life at that point, because you've got to maintain a positive mindset to get to that goal. So it is very important to just kind of keep in mind those people that you have around you who help you get to those things instead of keep you second guessing yourself, causing you to not take the steps to actually do it. What if you're thinking, well, I don't really have a checklist. I don't know how to put one together. I don't really even know where to start. All this is very overwhelming and I really don't know how to organize all my thoughts. Maybe I don't have much of a support team and I could use a little bit of positive reinforcement to help me through my journey. Maybe you don't even know what state you want to move to yet. You just need a little more information on what this whole process could look like for you. And maybe you're looking for a little bit of a step-by-step guide to help you through, getting from A to B. And that's exactly why we created Project Relocation. This guide we put together may actually be the thing that helps you get all your thoughts in order and helps you find the right resources you're going to need for your move. It really can help you go from unsure and overwhelmed to confident and in control, and on your way to taking the first steps toward this dream of this new lifestyle you're wanting to live. Maybe you're thinking, I don't really know how to put an extensive checklist together so I feel confident about all the things that I need to do, and I don't want to miss out on things like maybe things I should avoid. That's why we created this guide, to put all these things in order for you. It took me and my husband 5 whole entire years to finally start taking steps toward our dream of a new place, a new location, a new lifestyle. And honestly, we would have loved to have had something like this to help guide us through what this whole transition could look like. And so that's exactly why we put this together. And it's not just specific to moving to Kentucky. This can help you no matter what state you're thinking of moving to. So even if you're looking into a state like Tennessee or another state, it's just packed full of information that can help you get from A to B no matter where. But if you are looking to move to Kentucky, well, of course, you can reach out to us. Our information's always in the link below. We'd be glad to help you answer some more questions you have, get you started on your relocation journey. We've helped hundreds of people just like you get from A to B, get from A to Kentucky. We'd love to help you on your journey any way we can. We hope the video was helpful, and we will see you guys on the next one.